Hey, music lovers. Welcome to WDWNT Records, where we're turning the Disney Parks event business upside down. Just so you know what's rockin' here, we're celebrating the music and memories of Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith during a once-in-a-lifetime event that's speeding your way February 28th. Former Disney Imagineers who cleared the freeway for this Hollywood Studios thrill ride will be sharing stories you've never heard before. And given that many of them include Aerosmith, maybe some you never should. You can watch the full event online live or on demand after airing for just $15, most of which will benefit Give Kids the World Village and their 40th anniversary celebration. Or you can slam on the gas, grab some backstage passes, and join us in Orlando for a day of panels and presentations, sharing behind-the-scenes stories, never-before-seen photos and artwork, and even an autograph signing with the WDI artists who composed this classic. Plus, get your hands on an exclusive limited edition pin made for our event gift.
Wait a minute, I love that idea.
So get in your Super Stretch limo and take a ride to rockinfarewell.com for tickets and more information. Well, I think that about covers it. That's the business, and the fun's just ahead. Rock on. This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. Real quick, before we get started, I just want to mention, you might be wondering, what is this thing on my desk? Well, we were invited over the weekend to go to the Daytona 500 in honor of the 20th anniversary of Disney and Pixar's Cars. If you'd like to check out more about that, if you head on over to WDWNT POV, there is a vlog of myself and my father. Yes, I brought my father to the media event. You can check out what we did at the Daytona 500. Go check it out. And also, we're going to pop a QR code right here. Walmart was part of the event as well. There is a Cars collection you could purchase at walmart.com. And if you use our QR code, it actually helps to support us here at WDWNT as well. So thanks for watching. And if you like Cars merchandise, thanks for buying. Now the news for February 16th, 2026. After work on the front of Cinderella Castle ramped up last week, the paint has reached the surrounding area of the clock's face. There's also been progress on the back of the castle as the gray has spread across several more of the window trimmings. These areas around the windows appear to be some of the only ones on the backside that still require new paint, as most of the back has already been reverted to the gray color scheme. From the castle's side profile, the variation in gray is well visible, as the color will be a lighter shade the further it travels up the building to create a version of forced perspective, as was first planned by the designer of Cinderella Castle, John Hench. Work is being done as inconspicuously as possible as not to be obtrusive for the daytime guests, including not getting a crane or any visible work in their photographs. Aerial photos from BioReconstruct on X reveal the newest progress on the land that is set to become Piston Peak National Park. Although we cannot confirm, the new construction hints at a possible track layout or early foundational work for the off-road attraction coming to Frontierland at the Magic Kingdom. The photo here shows an aerial look at the development of the future Piston Peak National Park. The newly added concrete forms are at a much lower elevation compared to Big Thunder Mountain, as you can see. So this section of the ride could be used for mechanical purposes or to support the actual ride structure that will be above it and much higher. While it's most likely too early to speculate what these forms are for, it's possible the new concrete forms could point out the possible ride layout. The possible building layout you're looking at now is revealed in a document filed by Disney with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Piston Peak National Park will take up most of the former Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island's footprint as part of the existing Frontierland. Meanwhile, Disney's Villains Land will be north of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and the Haunted Mansion in an area that's mostly currently backstage. In this image, Tiana's Bayou Adventure is in the lower left corner, Big Thunder Mountain in the upper left. If we overlay the Florida Department of Environmental Protection image over the most recent photo by BioReconstruct, you can see where this section of forms and rebar is situated in relation to the existing areas in white and the new ride facility outlined in black, and it somewhat follows the ride path outlined in red on the fun map. Last year, that fun map was released for the Cars-themed area. The map is a type of idealized art that shows an approximation of the layout and theming, but it shouldn't be expected to work like a regular navigational map. There's some things missing, some things aren't to scale, etc. However, laying out a rough outline of the area where the concrete forms are being installed closely coincides with where the track will be for the ride. In a zoomed-in view of the image, some rebar placed vertically can be seen, indicating the beginning of a possible wall or vertical concrete support. In the Cars area is a semicircle-shaped building and two smaller buildings. The space will also have two attractions. The off-road rally race ride will be mostly outdoors, but it sounds like there's going to be an indoor part Disney doesn't want to talk about just yet. And the semicircle building is likely a part of that attraction, and we think where the inside part of the ride will be. The second attraction Disney is not really willing to talk about, but maybe at D23 later this year we'll get to hear what it is. Refurbishment work continues around the Haunted Mansion as more scrim has been added around the building's facade at the Magic Kingdom. This follows Disney filing 2 permits for construction at the ride and then clearing the lawn of shrubs and trees. The scrim has enveloped the rest of the facade since our last update. 2 weeks ago, we reported that scrim had been added around the lower part of the mansion's facade and then was extended. And while the top half of the front was still visible as of last week, that too has now been covered. At certain angles, the scrim is semi-transparent, allowing you to see the shape of the building through the facade, but you can't really see the details. Scaffolding went up in the Q's graveyard in January. More scaffolding covered in green scrim went up on the lawn soon after and was expanded, as we just talked about. The Haunted Mansion is open during all of this. It's unclear if at some point in the next couple of years they'll have to close to facilitate some of this work in the area. It's unclear exactly what's going on. I've heard various things. It's to make more queue space. They're fixing the facade because you're going to be able to see around certain sides of it that you couldn't before, now that you can walk around the space that was formerly Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America. Now that you'll see it maybe from parts of Piston Peak National Park, maybe you won't. That's the theory that's out there. As you know, we have to wait and see what it actually is. A recent update to the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade includes an appearance from Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen during the month of February. The Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade is a short procession at the Magic Kingdom, running along the parade route from Frontierland to Main Street. It runs twice a day at 10:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. The cavalcade includes appearances by nearly 30 different Disney and Pixar characters. There's quite a few. The cavalcade has not changed drastically over the years, apart from interchanging a few of the characters. Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon was added in November of 2022, while both Mirabelle and Bruno were added in September of 2023. But Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen are now part of the cavalcade. They'll be there just for the month of February for the Celebrate Soulfully event. Several rare Disney couples made special meet and greet appearances over the weekend at Walt Disney World to celebrate Valentine's Day. Here's who we saw at the Magic Kingdom. Snow White and her prince were meeting guests on Main Street USA, just outside of the Town Square Theater. No Valentine's Day would be complete without Disney's most iconic couple, of course, which would be Gaston and his reflection. Gaston was walking the streets of Fantasyland near Be Our Guest restaurant. He's walking around the village. Princess Aurora and Prince Philip were waving hello to guests near Pinocchio Village House. They were out by the castle walls. And although not rare characters, Mickey and Minnie rarely meet together at the Magic Kingdom, but for the day they were meeting in the Enchanted Glade gazebo in Valentine's Day-inspired special outfits. Meanwhile, Clarabelle and Horace Horsecollar typically only appear at the Magic Kingdom during special parades and in the Frontierland Hoedown, but for Valentine's Day, the pair were meeting in Frontierland wearing their classic outfits. Can I ask a question? Are they a couple? Have we established that? Like, even in the mythos of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, I don't know that it's insinuated that the two of them are a couple. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, they get associated just because they're like the beyond the Fab Five that always get left out of things, so they've always been, and of course they're barnyard animals, so I don't know. But yeah, are they a couple? Let me know in the comments. I have no idea. And of course, lastly for the holiday, all about hearts, the Queen of Hearts was out near the Mad Tea Party in Fantasyland. Meanwhile, over at Epcot, there were more rare Disney couples you could find over the weekend. We spotted Aurora and Prince Philip in the France Pavilion along the walkway near the Lagoon. We saw Belle and the Beast at the France Pavilion as well. Princess Jasmine and Aladdin can be met as usual at the Morocco Pavilion. And then Mulan and Li Shang were meeting in China. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to wwnt.travel, and their team will design your next magical vacation from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resorts to Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free. That's right, so book today. A guest at EPCOT entered the restricted Victoria Gardens in the Canada Pavilion and made their way down to the stream as seen in a viral video. Instagram user The Ride View shared a video of the guests dipping their hands and feet in the water. It appears they took off one of their shoes as well. Jonathan said cast members and security responded quickly and the situation was handled without any major disruption. Guests can enjoy Victoria Gardens safely from the walkway and bridges. As always, jumping over railings and fences in the park is not advised, and it could result in you being banned from the Walt Disney World Resort. So don't go do the piggy dipping in the piggy pond at the Canada Pavilion at EPCOT. After reportedly running without the teleportation effect for weeks, a cast member confirmed to us that the effect is now restored in the pre-show of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at EPCOT. The second pre-show room of the attraction normally features an effect where you are teleported from the pavilion to a spaceship, which practically translates into the room going black for a split second after a bright flash, which leads to walls quickly moving up into the ceiling to reveal the full room. When one of our staff members visited the attraction multiple times earlier this month, they noticed the effect was not available, but it is back now. I will say, I don't know if there's a worse multiple pre-show setup than Guardians. Like it just feels like you just stand there and you stand there and you stand there. You're like, can I just queue? Can we please just queue? And then it's so annoying. Everyone knows how the ride works. So the whole crowd leaves the first pre-show and they pack into the corner and everyone's ready for the wall to go up. And it's really frustrating. This has got to be, I will tell you, I love Cosmic Rewind. I know everybody does. What keeps me out of there more than the wait time is just the very thought of sitting through those two pre-shows makes me not go in there. Let me know if you feel the same. Following a report from us on a visible crack in Gertie the dinosaur's tail, the life-size statue at Disney's Hollywood Studios has been patched. How great is this? The crack was where Gertie's tail meets her body. It was made more obvious after nearby vegetation was removed due to the recent freezing temperatures in Florida. The crack has now been patched up, although there's a visible color difference between regular Gertie and where the crack is. It's possible with time this will dry and fade, or maybe they'll work on it a little more. This was maybe just a quick patch job for the time being, but it does mean again that Disney is listening. They saw the post about Gertie being cracked and they fixed Gertie. Of course, we love Gertie here at WDWNT, so happy to see her back to health. What appears to be significant mold has built up in the Lightning Lane queue of Slinky Dog Dash at Disney's Hollywood Studios. There's also cracked paint. There are gross brown spots all over this Slinky Dog mural, which acts as a wall of the queue. The mold stands out against the white of Slinky's eyes and the white lettering. Mold develops in warm areas with moisture. As for the paint, some sections have completely peeled away, and while the peeling paint on the corner of the wall is more par for the course, there are badly cracked sections on flat parts of the wall as well. What I can say about this is since Toy Story Land opened in 2018, we have been meticulously following the maintenance because the land was just not built the best. There were a lot of suspect choices in materials. There are a lot of suspect choices as to what's exposed to the elements, things of that sort. And so I'm not surprised to see this, but man, they've got to keep up with it because this looks gross. Disney Experiences chairperson and, oh, by the way, soon-to-be CEO of the Walt Disney Company, Josh D'Amaro, was instrumental in experience updates coming to Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run at Disneyland Park and Hollywood Studios. Marcus Buckingham of Harvard Business Review shadowed D'Amaro for a day at the parks, interviews at his offices, and Walt Disney Imagineering design sessions. He joined a meeting between D'Amaro and 30 Imagineers talking about Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, and regarding the existing ride, D'Amaro said, guests like it, but they don't love it. He pointed out that the ride's pilots mostly controlled the experience while the gunners and engineers were more passive. So the Imagineers planned an update that will give each writer more agency and the chance to influence the story, all part of the Mandalorian and Grogu mission, which launches May 22nd, 2026. Disney is a delicate brand, DeMauro told Buckingham. Anything I can do to help more guests say they love Disney is a valuable use of my time. Buckingham described this approach to leadership as experience intelligence, or the ability to read and shape the human experience. It's what makes DeMauro beloved by guests and employees, which Buckingham saw firsthand in the parks. He said cast members felt seen, trusted, capable, and proud of what they were a part of. Beyond employee interactions, experience intelligence also means recognizing that the most powerful experiences are those which the person says they love, not like, not respect, not learned a lot during, and not really enjoyed, but truly something that they loved. I think this is a great sign. That's what I want to hear, is that we're not aiming for good, we're not aiming for great, we're aiming for exceptional. And I mean, the signs are there. Big Thunder Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, Carousel of Progress, this Millennium Falcon update. These are things that needed TLC. In the case of Falcon, it wasn't so much TLC that it's an old ride. It was more that it just wasn't what guests wanted. It wasn't a great experience for everybody, and people were tired of that single mission, I think. And so that's what we've seen a lot during these last couple of years under Josh DeMauro at Parks and Resorts. And I think you're going to continue to see that with him as CEO, that they're paying attention, they're watching what we say, they hear us, they hear the cast members, and they're going to address many of those things. And I think we're seeing that pattern here. Talked about Cinderella Castle earlier in this show. All these things point to that for sure. But that's what I want to hear, is that they don't want to hear that a guest likes something. They want to hear that guests love something. That's a good sign for me. We'll see if it pans out, but I think it's on the right course. Talking about things guests love, well, here's something I don't like. Brick removal began a week ago above the entrance archways of the former MuppetVision 3D at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but now crew members have removed bricks from two edges of the adjacent clock tower and a large rectangular section below the clock. During our visit today, crew members in a lift appear to be removing even more. The removal appears to be in preparation for new decorative elements that will be added to the building. Concept art depicts the building with a brick facade, but with a new marquee and clock tower decorations. The rectangle of missing brick appears to correspond to a new sign that will be added to the tower. The theater will become the Globe, if the art is correct, a play on Shakespeare's Globe Theater. It'll get a new green marquee, while the clock tower will get an element inspired by monster eyes and teeth. Behind the clock tower, crews have also been removing vent covers. One is completely gone and another has been reduced to a frame. Some paneling was removed from the theater wall below as well. Though Muppets Courtyard will soon be Monstropolis, the Muppets will return to Hollywood Studios this summer when they take over Rock and Roller Coaster. Of course, we're saying goodbye to Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. Just a couple days left of that. And do not forget about our sweet, emotional farewell tour. But you guys saw the commercial already. We plugged it already. We'll keep moving. Thanks to BioReconstruct on X, we now know that both Aladar and Dino-Sue have been removed from the former Dinosaur Courtyard in Animal Kingdom. He also snapped some shots of the rest of Dinoland as the former land becomes the tropical Americas. The entire courtyard in front of Dinosaur has been demolished. Aladar, the reflecting pools, and the planters that surrounded him are all extinct. The Dinosaur marquee featuring the Carnotaurus and the meteors is safe for now, although likely be removed very, very soon, as Disney has got to get cracking on turning this building into a Mayan temple for the Indiana Jones ride. For comparison, here's what the courtyard looked like before the demolition. Aladar had greeted guests since the year 2000, when the original Countdown to Extinction became Dinosaur. If you want to know the full history of the ride, we do have a video over on our Parchive channel. Be sure to check that out. After being marked for demolition, the replica of Sue the T-Rex has been removed from the pathway walking towards Dinosaur. However, her pedestal is still there at this time. The original Sue fossils were discovered in 1990 by Sue Hendrickson in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It is still the largest and most complete T-Rex specimen ever found, and after a legal battle regarding ownership of the fossils, they were ultimately sold for $8.3 million at auction in October of 1997 to the Field Museum of Natural History with the help from Disney Parks and sponsor McDonald's. Some of the preparation of Sue's fossils took place at Dinoland USA in the Fossil Preparation Lab, which was open to guests from 1998 to 2000. Disney made their own cast of Sue to display, while the original went off to the field, where it can still be seen today. Meanwhile, the Trilobite sign has been removed from the building, which you can see here. Deconstruction is happening quickly now that the land is completely closed. At this time, the area near Restaurantosaurus is relatively untouched. We have heard, though, that the interior of Restaurantosaurus is completely barren at this point. They gutted it quick. The overall building structure is expected to remain, with possible additions and a reimagining as a large hacienda, which will be one of the largest quick-service restaurants in all of Walt Disney World. It's expected to serve Colombian-inspired dishes, which Disney has been testing around Animal Kingdom for several months now. The walkway that previously divided the two sections of construction is now gone. There is an excavator on top of broken concrete that used to be the path, and the future carousel is located to the right. Since our last aerial update, more structural framing has occurred for the carousel, which will feature wood carvings of favorite Disney animal characters. Towards the middle, a smooth layered circle shows where the base of the carousel will go, with utility conduits being placed directly in the middle. There also appears to be concrete forms placed nearby that could end up being the queue for the attraction. Several weeks ago, framing of the Encanto ride building began, with interior framework beginning shortly after. We've been monitoring the roofing elements, which are now being added to the lower level of the building, which could be the interior queue. BioReconstruct also caught the second-to-last piece of structural frame being moved and added to the building's frame. The photo you're looking at now shows the beam being slid into place by crew members. Though it's just a frame for now, the Encanto ride will eventually have a casita facade. The ride will be set during the film, although it will go beyond the original story. Dinoland USA closed in phases from January of 2025 to February of 2026. And now, again, Tropical Americas will open in 2027. For Valentine's Day, cast members at Disney's Animal Kingdom provided their family of otters with a special enrichment to celebrate the day. Thanks to Instagram posts from Dr. Mark Penning, the Vice President of Disney's Animals, Science, and Environment, viewers can watch as otters Kevin and May celebrate Valentine's Day with their pups. The animal nutrition team at Animal Kingdom provided the family with heart-shaped ice treats, and they were quick to enjoy. Clamshells were also provided to encourage their natural foraging behaviors, and Disney also provided a Valentine's greeting from Kevin and May. Meanwhile, Tucker, the first Masai giraffe born at Disney's Animal Kingdom since 2021, has recently celebrated his first birthday. He made his debut on Kilimanjaro Safaris around Earth Day of last year. Tucker celebrated his first birthday with a special enrichment created by his keepers at that Animal Nutrition Center. Disney shared a video that details his birthday treats, such as giraffe-friendly cupcakes and a birthday cake. The Masai giraffe is classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, with around 30,000 Masai giraffes remaining globally. Tucker's birth supports the Association of Zoos and Aquariums Species Survival Plan, which focuses on maintaining genetic diversity and helping protect giraffes from extinction. It's worth mentioning that Tucker can be seen on Kilimanjaro Safaris only and not on the Savannah at Animal Kingdom Lodge. His mother Mara first joined the Savannah in 2015 and has given birth 3 times now. Her first calf, Jabari, was born in 2019. Tucker's milestone comes as the Disney Conservation Fund celebrates 30 years of supporting wildlife and habitat protection. Disney's Blizzard Beach Water Park is now open once again after its seasonal refurbishment at Walt Disney World. With the park's opening comes the closure of Typhoon Lagoon, but both will be open together later this year. As of Sunday, Blizzard Beach is open for guests looking to enjoy some time at a Disney water park. The park's hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Hours may be adjusted for weather. They may also close some days during the winter season due to cold weather. As previously announced, Typhoon Lagoon Water Park closed on February 14th for its seasonal refurb, but again, it'll be back for Cool Kids Summer, which runs from May 26th through September 8th. Disney Store has shared a sneak peek at the first new Star Wars merch for May the 4th, and it's the BDX droids as toys. The BDX droids are a quartet of self-walking animatronics named Red, Grek, Oscar, and Besh, based on their main colors. They first debuted at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland in October of 2023 with a playtest, and they later made limited-time daily appearances for Season of the Force 2024. They've sailed on the Disney Wish. They visited Tokyo Disneyland and Disneyland Paris. They roamed Batuu East in the summer of 2025 and even appeared at Jollywood Nights 2025. They've been all over the place, and now they're going to Shanghai for a limited time as well, by the way. But now you can take home your very own set of these BDX droids from the Droid Factory, which will be available at the Disney Store on May the 4th. We assume it'll also be at Disneyland and Walt Disney World in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland Park has reopened after its 3-week refurbishment. It was closed since January 20th of 2026. During the ride's closure, we saw crew members refreshing the ride's exterior, and though crew members said there would be a new theme to some elements, there were no visible exterior changes. What we heard was one of the elevators during the ride portion that takes the transport up and down. One of those was out of commission for a while, so the ride capacity was very low for a period, and this refurb was really focused on making that elevator work again. But that's purely what we heard through the grapevine, but either way, the ride is back. It does look exactly the same as before, but everything seems to be operating. A new Women Who Make the Magic guided tour is coming to Disneyland for Women's History Month. We saw a sign inviting guests to inquire about the experience at the tour garden at Disneyland Park. However, the tour is not yet available to book, and details are very slim. I don't know why they have this sign out if they have no information, but guided tours are usually 90 minutes to 2 hours and often include a souvenir. Pricing is upwards of $100 depending on the tour. We'll give you more information on this new one when we have it. Frozen Ever After opens with World of Frozen on March 29th, alongside the rebranding of the Walt Disney Studios Park to Disney Adventure World. As we near the opening date, some media outlets have been given the opportunity to share photos from inside the attraction. Thanks to DLP Works on Instagram, we have compiled a look inside the attraction's queue and on board the ride. The majority of photos shared come from sortiraparis.com, who posted the first images and revealed that the songs will only be played in English, which frustrated French-speaking fans all over social media. The World of Frozen transports you to the Norwegian-inspired Kingdom of Arendelle, where Anna and Elsa grew up. Charming village buildings in rich brownish reds and greens are as lovely as can be, with brick and stone facades. The Frozen Ever After attraction entrance features a cuckoo clock with dolls of Anna and Elsa. Cargo and other maritime props decorate the entire queue to reference Arendelle's trading culture. Inside, the queue is reminiscent of really the Hong Kong Disneyland version of the attraction. There's some little things that come from the Walt Disney World version, but really it's going to match that Hong Kong version the most. A unique reference to Walt Disney Imagineer Michel Den Dolk is located behind some railings, as Den and Dolk Sea Hardware Supplies is printed on some of the crates. Paintings hang on one wall representing Anna and Elsa. Lanterns and pennants hang from the ceiling with lighting designed to represent the night sky. Forced perspective also allows the village scenes in the queue to enhance depth. Oaken interacts with guests from his sauna near an ice block storage room. Each boat has 4 rows that appear to fit roughly 4 guests per row, so in total each boat will carry about 16 guests through the attraction. Several of the key scenes will look very familiar if you've been to EPCOT or Hong Kong Disneyland, or both, beginning with the first scene of Olaf and Sven welcoming guests on their journey to Elsa's Ice Palace. Riders then pass by Grandpappy telling some of the younger trolls about the story from the first Frozen film. Guests approach Elsa's Ice Palace up a lift hill. Olaf then appears again, ice skating around a fountain before guests encounter Anna and Kristoff. Meanwhile, Sven tries to get his tongue unstuck from the ice railing. Guests then enter the Ice Palace through double doors designed with a large snowflake, and Elsa sings Let It Go on her balcony, just as with the other versions of the attraction. Of course, we expect it to be very similar to the others. And of course, if you haven't seen the updates to the EPCOT attraction, they are available in a video on our POV channel. Head on over there to watch that. The theme song for the 25th anniversary of Tokyo Disney Sea is now streaming online ahead of the celebration's official start in April. The Tokyo Disney Sea 25th Anniversary Sparkling Jubilee will be held from April 15th of 2026 to March 31st of 2027. You can find links to the song at wdwnt.com. I'm not wild about it. It's not. I usually love the Tokyo event music. This one I'm a little out on it. Tokyo Disney Sea has shared the merchandise that will be available for the 2026 Food and Wine Festival. Mickey and Remy are the main characters featured this year. You can check out all that merchandise on wdwnt.com. We already knew that the living character of Olaf the Snowman from Frozen was coming to both Paris and Hong Kong, but now with a new teaser from Hong Kong Disneyland, they say he's coming soon. Hong Kong Disneyland announced via a royal decree on Instagram that the walking, talking Olaf will soon be in their world of Frozen. The Olaf living character is the latest entry in the now decades-long history of walk-around robotics characters at Disney parks. It began with Lucky the Dinosaur in the 2000s, and of course we just talked about the BDX droids. But in the video, Olaf can be seen walking up a hill into Arendelle before interacting with cast members who are excited to see him. Olaf then mentions his love for the summer snow day and meeting new friends who are always welcome in Arendelle. Of course, Olaf will also debut at World of Frozen at Disney Adventure World starting in March. No exact date for his arrival in Hong Kong, though, but soon. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to our WIGS members who make this show happen every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And don't forget to fuel up.